early on, you learned a lesson that probably helped you earlier in your career as a model. And then now as an entrepreneur and a businesswoman, because you're always doing businesses, you learned right away that not everybody is going to welcome you with open arms and have a certain perception about you that kind of fits your narrative. And we have to work through those things, right? And it sets you up for pushing through the tough moments. And you mentioned right there before I interjected, you were at early in your modeling career around 1993, you were failing at businesses, but then you decided you were pregnant. And you were like, okay, the socks, walk us through that.
So the modeling had gone on longer than I had anticipated, and just, trying and failing the different businesses. But I just felt like if I didn't shut the door on that chapter of my life, I might not live my dream of, I was really interested in business and wanted that felt more secure to me, earning a living off serving people and bringing products and services that would really have an impact on their life, rather than depending on a paycheck based on how someone else perceived that I look at the moment's changing all the time, have limited control over that. So I got offered to model a pair of socks, and it wasn't the most glamorous job. There was no beautiful location or anything. And they were thinking maybe they just crop at the knees and do a feet shot. That's where the career was. And I had to contemplate it because it was a job when not a lot of job offers were coming my way. I really like the people. John and Marilyn Moretz, they're in North Carolina to this day. I mean, they're family to me. They are just amazing people. When you meet amazing people, they're treasures. You just want to hang on to them. And so I said I wasn't so interested in modeling the socks, but talked about, what do you think about starting a business together? I put a little team together. What can we do as far as design, innovation, just bringing great value to this really basic pair of socks. My husband and I, we tried out the socks on a backpacking trip. My husband worked in ER, so he's on his feet. He's like, these are great socks. I love them. I did too. We began by conducting a surprise factory inspection. Growing up, my dad worked in labor relations. And so I experienced, he worked with Cesar Chavez, and he helped implement getting outhouses placed in the fields. And I saw a lot of oppression and abuses. And you find out a lot when you show up unexpectedly. So went to the factories. They were beautiful. People were well treated. I got to talk to, everybody there. And it was wonderful. I really was excited about this concept. So it was just like hitting the street, presenting the socks to retailers. And people said things like, what a stupid idea it was that you couldn't start a brand with a pair of socks. They had a lot of comments like that, but nobody had a reason why. And and one of the greatest gifts of that modeling career was all the rejection. And I didn't appreciate it at the time. It's not fun at the time, but what a gift. Because when the doors were being slammed in my face, it didn't bother me. I mean, my response was, oh, well, no means we're talking. So maybe I'll come back tomorrow, and, maybe your circumstances will have changed. Maybe you will no longer be the decision maker, or, maybe you'll be in a better mood. And I encourage people with that. When, do your homework. When, if we're talking, products and retail, find out if it's a good fit. Like, who do you want to serve? What's your brand all about? And what are the person's needs? Because you're serving those people. And how does this retailer provide good service? And how do they align with your values, or do they not? Like, do your homework on that. And if you believe in what you're doing, you believe in all of it, fight for it. Go back. Maybe don't go back the next day. It might have been a little stalky of me, but calendar, go back 6 months later and fight through. And it was. There were, in the early days, there were things like sleeping in airports, things like that, which was not a big deal. Because I think whatever material thing you give up to live your dream and go for those goals, it's not a sacrifice, it's a bold investment. And that bold investment led to us selling our 100 millionth pair of socks and growing our brand in many different sectors.
That's amazing, because you said something that I found really intriguing. It was the things that people say. That's a dumb idea. Excuse me. You can't build a brand off of selling socks. I remember when I left corporate America I was in the medical industry as well. And it was, you're going to leave this amazing career to start a podcast. I'm like, well, I've been going for about, 2 to 3 years at this point. They're like, yeah, dude, it's a small show. You're doing it I was doing my show on an iPhone, and I was just recording audio. And eventually what happened is I believed in it. I believed in the mission. I knew what my platform was for. It wasn't for me. It was for people. And I wanted people to understand that there's a wide range of people that are struggling every day. Doesn't matter if they're celebrities, doesn't matter if it's just a regular Joe. We all have the same struggles because we're all people, we're human living in this experience. And if I could just give them stories of determination and of hope, then maybe one day it could be something. And then I look at where we're at now, and I don't feel we're done by any stretch of the imagination. But I look back, I'm like, wow, if I would have listened to them, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now.